they've got to kick the conversion. Now that ain't any formality, they've got to win the line out, that hasn't been. Palmer.
A good take from Tom Palmer. Argentina resist and hold firm. Martin Corey, the captain, tries to drag England forward a little bit more, but the clock is against them. Another penalty. Rejoining at the side.
Don't take your time, Martin Corey. Someone's got to bang that ball into touch very quickly.
It's got to happen now. Does. Flood. Corey will call for another drive. Bolshaw is staying wide for the crossfield kick.
I'd be amazed if Fernandez doesn't read that. He's calling to his teammate. He spotted him. He's on up the field.
It's back to Mears, Lee Mears. But Argentina knew about that tactic. They were ready for it. And it's becoming just one score for England now. Try and get the draw. 90 seconds left. Richards, Flood, Toby Flood. Can he be the saviour for England? Peter Richards again, not quite sure what to do. Argentina know what they want to do, and that is to slow it right down. Richards, Lucy, Mears. There's a lot riding on this next minute.
Ball slow.
Bolshaw still calling on this side. England working towards him. Argentina, big hit by Gomez Cora, the winger. Pichot's got it. He's kicking this ball downfield, and he might be kicking Argentina to a famous win. Cohen.
England got white line fever when they had to keep pace on the ball and move it. But frankly, Argentina have deserved this victory if it is to be theirs. And how about the composure, the class, the kick from Gus Pichot, 32 years of age. He hasn't played this season. He's had groin injuries. He couldn't miss today. Magnificent leadership.
Richards, Flood, Allen. Bolshaw, he's got Cohen outside. Ian Bolshaw almost getting away. Desperate tackle back. As Argentina know now that this will be the final play of the match. And a loose ball, if secured, will get them the win. It's knocked down by Lund. The referee has seen it. And Argentina are going to make that piece of history which could change their history, and it could also change England's too. Andy Robinson disappears to the changing room. It is that record equaling 7th defeat for England. It is that first ever win at Twickenham for Argentina. There will be a lot to take in and absorb tonight, but for now, as we look at the dejected England faces, we should also reflect on the ecstasy for Argentina, on what this means. They have done what they do best. They have made their point today.
Oh, haven't they? They were so close to beating the Lions in Cardiff. Today, England were 13-point favourites, but Gus Pichot inspired his team. Rugby's not just about power and strength, and it's not about training for 7 days on the trot every week. It's about using your wits. And Gus Pichot, I think, one of the great modern characters in rugby, has had his finest hour, not as an individual, but as a leader of this team. Well done, Argentina. You deserve that win.
Well, let's just soak this in and listen to the Argentina reaction.
10 segundos. Enfrentemos este momento 10 segundos. ¿No? ¿Y nos sentamos? Escuchen, cállense.
Savour the moment is the message from Augustin Pichot.
La historia, escuchen, este momento no se lo ganan nunca.
Look at the smiles, and now the party is not going to end for Argentina tonight, tomorrow, or possibly Monday. They move on. They go to Rome in such great heart. And then it's France after that, as they go for 5 wins in a row against France. For England, South Africa on the horizon, 2 test matches. and it will be a record stretch of defeats if England lose next week. Where do England go from here?
I think the surgery will have to be major now. Charlie Hodgson felt the surgeon's knife taken off at 50 minutes. I don't know whether it will stop there. You can't blame Andy Robinson on selection. The balance wasn't right on the back row. We've got shortages, but I think Rob Andrew now will have to think very hard about what he does. There's a rot in English rugby. We took a massive step backwards after some of the progress against New Zealand. This is the time for hard action now. Rob Andrew is thinking, you heard the boos at the end, the Twickenham crowd and English rugby I don't think will accept a maintenance of the status quo.
Just going to say the same, Stuart. We look around as it in the commentary position here, and the faces of the England supporters tell you everything. There is great unrest in the stadium at the moment. They are not happy with what they've seen at all today. They tried to lift the team at various points today. They started off in the first couple of minutes with an encouraging swing low, sweet chariot. I mean, England could not have asked for any more from their supporters today. It was just that England didn't give them much to shout about. They latched onto the Saki try. They celebrated Bolshaw's run too. But apart from those two moments, England had a terrible day at the office. There's no other way of dressing it up. And Argentina had a great one, and a memorable one, and one that they will savour forever and a day. Rob Andrew has a lot on his mind.
Well, apart from two individual tries from Saki and Bolshaw, sparked by Peter Richards, England didn't create enough. They didn't look like a streetwise international team, and they didn't even look like a particularly dazzling bunch of novices. In contrast, Argentina played the percentages well. They won the small battles. They controlled the kicking game, and as Rob Andrew looks on there, we cannot now, as world champions, get away from the fact that this is complete meltdown in English international rugby now. It just cannot go on this way, and I'm not just saying that a mob mentality should prevail. It shouldn't, but symbolically now, change has to happen. England, the rut is too deep. 18-25 today. Well done, Argentina. They were the better team. There was no fluke at all. But for England now, the pit is a very dark, deep one, and I think Andrew must make changes.
Argentina came here, they knew exactly what they had to do, and they did it. They stuck to their game plan, and they get their reward. Their first ever win at Twickenham, their first ever try at Twickenham. It's all happened for Augustin Pichot and his men today. There's a lot more to happen for England over the next couple of weeks, and possibly over the next 24, 48 hours or so. England have lost, and for them it is a terrible defeat. 18-25, the final score. Simon.